Well, good morning, everyone. It is 11 a.m. and we will be starting the event. Just to let you know, we are recording the event as well. And I'm Natalie with SBA North Florida District Office. I have my counterpart, Ronald Bruner, with the South Florida District Office. This is the collaboration event with the SBA North Florida and South Florida District Office. Thank you again for joining us. We are going to have some great information that we're going to be sharing with you for over the hour and a half of the event that you guys will be attending. I don't know where a lot of you guys are logging in from, but here in Jacksonville, it's a rainy Friday, which is cool, especially if you're inside and don't have to go out to travel. So this virtual event on this Friday, I think, was a great day. But again, everyone is tuning in from different areas. I want to share that since it is a virtual event, everyone is on different Wi-Fi's. So if something happens on my end, please don't hold me responsible for that. I'm totally not responsible for any of that. Also, we will be recording the event so that way we can turn around and also share it with everyone. And for those that registered but may didn't get the opportunity to tune in. So with that being said, I'm going to stop speaking, but I want to introduce you guys to the North Florida District Office District Director, Janelle Hine, who's going to kick off the event with some, great words for you guys. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Janelle.
Thank you very much, Natalie. Appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you coming today. I'm representing both North and South Florida, and I don't believe the district director, Malcolm Richards from South Florida, is able to attend. But we are happy that you're here, happy that you are at an event that is celebrating women entrepreneurs. I wanted to give you a little bit of background first on the culmination of the designation of Women's History Month. So we need to journey back a little bit to 1978. I believe that's when the seeds of this celebration were actually sown in Sonoma County, California, which culminated in the birth of Women's History Month. Originally, it was just a week-long tribute that was aligned with International Women's Day, which is celebrated on March 8th. However, this movement of women entrepreneurs actually gained national recognition in 1980, and thanks to President Jimmy Carter at the time, and it was expanded to a month-long affair in 1987 through congressional decree. So now we have the month of March designated as Women's History Month. This year, as we honor the theme of the month, which is women who advocate for equity, diversity, and inclusion, I'd like to reflect on some empowering statistics. Our last data for women business through the census is from 2019. And at that point, women comprised 47.2% of the workforce and owned 43.4% of businesses. Now, from these numbers, it's evident that women are driving innovation, creating jobs, and shaping our economic landscape. The entrepreneurial spirit of women knows no bounds. From bustling boutiques to cutting edge tech startups, women are forging ahead. In 2023 alone, over 1,200 new businesses were launched daily by women entrepreneurs at the national level. In Florida, we have over 1.1 million women-owned businesses just located in our state. Now, we at the Small Business Administration, we're dedicated to bridging the gap in access to capital for underserved businesses, particularly those that are led by women. In fiscal year 2023, SBA backed loans to women-owned small businesses, and it surged to nearly 70%, amounting to 5.1 billion, that's billion with a B, in support. And locally, we've noticed and witnessed a increase in loans to women-owned businesses, reflecting our commitment to fostering their growth and success. We've been driving an initiative of reaching out to underserved markets, women-owned business being one of them, in both North and South Florida. And I think the increase that we're seeing in this access to capital for women-owned businesses is a direct result from our marketing efforts. Moreover, in 2021, we started the SBA's Ascent program, which actually stands as a beacon of support, offering a wealth of resources to guide women entrepreneurs through their business journeys. And we call them journeys because each of the modules that you go through is, in fact, a journey that will help you to grow and scale your business. They take the form of informative videos, and there's also interactive self-assessments. But the Ascent program equips women with the tools they need to thrive in today's business landscape. Now, as we celebrate the resilience and achievements of women-owned businesses this Women's History Month, I invite you to explore the array of programs and services that we have that are tailored to support women entrepreneurs. You're going to hear more about those programs and services and other resources that can help you on your business journey. You can actually go to our website at www.sba.gov/women to learn more and stay connected with us on social media. We're on both X and LinkedIn. And you can actually sign up for the latest updates on events and other initiatives for the SBA by just going to our regular website, www.sba.gov. If you go down to the bottom of the page, you put in your email address and your zip code, you'll be signed up not only for our national updates, but also the local ones here in our district office or whichever district office is closest to you. So I don't want to take up much time because I know there's a packed agenda, and I know that Natalie and Ron have developed this with the idea of getting you the most resources in the shortest amount of time. Please feel free to reach out to us. I know that they're going to share some contact information with you, and we look forward to helping you along your business journey, like I said. So thank you for joining as we honor the past, celebrate the present, and empower the future of women in business. Together, let's continue breaking barriers and fostering a culture of inclusivity and success. Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. So, again, I'm with the North Florida District Office. Janelle is my district director, and Ron is with the South Florida District Office. Again, since we don't know where a lot of you guys are tuning in from, if you don't fall within the North Florida District Office territory or the South Florida District Office, maybe you out of state. So there's an easy way to connect to your local SBA district office by visiting the national website, sba.gov, and you're able to actually plug in your zip code, and it will connect you to your local SBA district office. You have an opportunity to see who your district office team, as well as the resource partners that are available for you, because you will hear about SBA resource partners and how we will help someone that's looking to either start or grow, expand, or recover a small business. So with that being said, me and Ron are going to do an overview of SBA programs and services. So for those individuals, if this is your first time connecting with SBA, learning about SBA, again, we welcome you. For those of you that are currently in business, those that are looking to start a business and never received support from SBA, this overview will again give you the opportunity to learn how SBA can provide that support. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the PowerPoint presentation, and me and Ron are going to tag team to deliver this presentation to you guys. So give me a quick second.
Natalie, while you do that, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. Good morning and welcome to the Resources for Women in Business workshop. This workshop, as Natalie said, is being provided to you by both the North and South Florida district offices. We've got a lot of great information to provide to you about SBA resources that are available for your business today. At the end, we have a special guest speaker. And again, my name is Ron Brunner, Lead Business Opportunity Specialist and Veteran Small Business Officer for the South Florida District Office of the U.S. Small Business Administration. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Natalie. It looks like she has a presentation up. Natalie, I believe you have it in presenter mode or in a different mode. You might have to switch it over.
Yep. So my screen is messing up. You know what?
Yep.
Okay.
So go to, there it's showing the presenter view.
It's showing, okay.
Yeah, which is like, black with the two screens and your talking points.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm in the office doing this. I have 2 screens. I'm generally working from home and I don't have this issue. I do apologize. Uh, I do not know how to go in to change it from this view, Ron.
What you can do is, Natalie, if you can get to the presenter view, there is an ellipsis there, and click on the ellipsis, and you can actually hide that presenter view. There you go. And go up to where it says hide presenter view. Okay. And then now you got to go down and toggle to with what I showed Susan at the bottom right. It looks like there's a book. It's split to the right. There you go. Try that. Click on that.
Did that help? I clicked on it.
Try resharing your screen then, okay? And select the screen that is highlighted. So stop sharing.
Hey guys, we're almost there. Things happen. So when you're in business, you're going to experience things, but you have to keep going. So, okay. So I'm going to click share. Okay, Ron, did that help or no?
No, you're still seeing the same thing. Try the toggles at the bottom.
I think it's the next one over that looks like a little presenting screen.
This one?
No, to the right.
No, to the right.
To the right. Keep going. Keep going.
Next. There
that
you
one.
go.
And then you have to share that screen. So it's a little bit different.
Okay. Thanks, Chanel. So this is so funny. I'm going to come back out, stop sharing. I'm going to share, select this.
No.
Go back here. Slideshow from the beginning. Did that help?
Mm-mm.
Well, you know what? I'm going to have to continue because I don't want to keep wasting time. I just don't. Oh, my goodness.
Do you want to do the PDF?
Right.
I can share the PDF. I'll share the PDF and you just talk through it, okay?
Okay. So while Ron is pulling that up, let me just give you a little information about Natalie. So I am the Economic Development Officer with the SBA North Florida District Office. And my role is to provide market and outreach, basically to get out the word of SBA programs and services, letting individuals know who we are, what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. We cover 43 counties, starting from the Panhandle up to Orlando. Everything outside of that falls up under Ron's office in Miami. And also my role is to connect with other community leaders and stakeholders. Since SBA has such a long reach, we can't do it by ourselves. So we rely on building relationships, again, with other community leaders and stakeholders to help us get the word out. Again, with this event, I don't know how many of you guys heard about this. Are a lot of you following us? Do you receive our information? Did you receive this information outside of SBA? So again, if you receive this information from resources outside SBA, that means that we are doing our job, because again, we need other community leaders and stakeholders to help us to get the word out, because so many individuals may not know information about SBA and how we can provide that support. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead, Ron, and let you go ahead to the next slide. So how does SBA provide support with helping someone to start or grow a small business? Whether the business is for-profit or nonprofit, SBA can still provide support, because sometimes individuals may feel that the Small Business Administration can't assist me if my business is for-profit. And since there are so many entry levels into entrepreneurship, we can assist. So sometimes the individuals may have a business that they are looking to run full-time, maybe a part-time business, maybe the business is going to be online, or maybe someone wants a home-based business, or right now today have a hobby and want to turn that into a business. SBA programs and services can assist. And I just want to say, a lot of times individuals come to us, they are hesitant to come to us, number one, because we are federal government. they might feel that we're just here to look over their shoulders to catch them doing something wrong. That's not why the agency was created. Basically, if you're looking to start or grow a small business, we want to make sure that you can start and continue to be successful, help your communities, and at the end of the day, create jobs. So again, SBA is here to assist those individuals. And how? So I'm going to share with you on the next slide our resource partners. Our resource partners are partly funded by SBA to provide you support, whether you're starting a business or growing a business. And sometimes when I'm sharing information about our resource partners, I like to go into a little more detail so individuals will truly understand, because sometimes I notice when I'm sharing the information about our resource partners, individuals, feel like, okay, well, I reached out to Natalie with SBA for help and she's sending me there. We partly fund them, and they're basically are the counseling arms to the agency. They're the ones that's going to basically help someone that might be struggling within their business. They're going to help you if you're starting a business. If it's just an idea, we want to help to take that idea and put it into black and white, which is going to be a business plan, which is going to be your roadmap. You don't have to come to any of the resource partners with a business plan fully executed. That's why we're here. And again, like I mentioned, based upon how someone is going to, run their business, some individuals might feel like, no, SBA programs and services can't support me. Or they might have heard from someone else, SBA can't support you. If there's anything you want to learn about your U.S. Small Business Administration that you pay your tax dollars for, please ask us directly, because there are so many individuals that, might not know about us, but might steer you wrong. So first off, we have the Women's Business Center. Our Women's Business Center here in the North Florida District Office is the Jacksonville Women's Business Center. And of course, they provide support to women. And if that female is in a partnership with a male, both of them can utilize the services of the Women's Business Center. Our Women's Business Center has been a resource partner with SBA just about 21 years, and they provide the no-cost business mentoring and counseling. That's another question that comes up, excuse me, is when I share the information on the SBA resource partners, it's like, okay, how much is it going to cost me? And I generally say it costs you nothing but your time. You pay taxes, so you're already paying for this support. So the Jacksonville Women's Business Center covers different territories within the North Florida District Office. And of course, the South Florida District Office, they have their Women's Business Center. But again, by going on to the website, connecting to your local SBA district office, you will see the information on the Women's Business Center and their locations. Okay, next up is SCORE. SCORE is also an SBA resource partner, and they are a volunteer-based organization. So today, some of the mentors that are attached to SCORE may still run their business. Some have since sold their business, and some come from large corporations. Okay, SCORE and all the resource partners are national organizations. So in every state, you will find these resource partners as well as an SBA district office. Generally with SCORE, when someone is looking to work with SCORE, they generally try to match you with a mentor from that same industry. And sometimes if they don't have a mentor in your local area, they can scout across the board and find a mentor that's from the same background. So, and that's kind of what SCORE's niche is. So SCORE Jacksonville is connected to our office, but we have different chapters as well as the South Florida District Office. SCORE has been a resource partner with SBA a little over 50 years. Next is the Small Business Development Center. Again, they also provide the same support, no-cost business mentoring and counseling to help those individuals looking to start or grow a business, whether it's for-profit or nonprofit as well. SBDC has been a resource partner with SBA a little over 30 years. And last is the Veterans Business Outreach Center. Outside of me being an economic development specialist, which I forgot to say, I'm also the veterans rep, which again provides the same support, letting those that are military connected, including the spouses, know about our programs and services. And VBOC was created especially for our military communities, including our spouses. Our VBOC, which North Florida and South Florida share, only has one location, which is in Panama City. So if there's a military individual, including a spouse that wants to work with the VBOC and you don't live near Panama City, they can assist you over the phone or through the computer. And all four of the resource partners, January through December, put on a host of workshops and trainings. Now, some of those trainings might come with a small fee, or they might be free. And those workshops and trainings could be online or in person. So these are the four SBA resource partners, again, that are partly funded by SBA to provide you with this support. So working with any of the resource partners is still working with the U.S. Small Business Administration. Now, those links that you see on the screen, those again are the national links. So if you're on one of the websites and you're getting information about one of the resource partners, you will be able to navigate by plugging in your zip code to see where your local Women's Business Center, SCORE, SBDC, or VBOC is located. Okay. And so again, like I said, when I'm sharing this information, whether it's in person or over the phone, I just like to let individuals know that the resource partners is still receiving support. If you're working with an SBA resource partner, you're still receiving support from SBA because, like I said, individuals may say, well, Natalie, I reached out to you. What does SBA do? They fall up under our umbrella. And if you don't know the connection, and you might work with one of our resource partners and someone might ask, hey, have you ever received support from SBA? Sometimes an individual might say no. But those of you that are on this training today, now you know. If you didn't know, we cannot do what we do without our resource partners. And again, if you're working with any of our resource partners, you're still receiving support from the U.S. Small Business Administration. So you can go to the next screen, Ron. The next screen just highlights a couple of programs that we do have out for our military community. So the first one shows Boost the Business, which is a 2-day entrepreneurship track that we deliver at the military installations in Jacksonville, in the Miami area, and around the country. So individuals that are getting ready to transition out, if they select entrepreneurship, they will attend the Boost the Business, which is again 2-day entrepreneurship. And we cover 8 modules over the course of the 2 days. None of these trainings has a cost involved to it. It's just cost that service member or that spouse their time. And the reboot is the same program, but sometimes you have individuals that transition out of the military that may not have access to the base. So they came about and created Reboot. It's the same program. Once you complete both days, you will receive a certificate of completion. Again, it's 4 modules for that training. And the reboots that we have been delivering, my office as well as Ron's office have been collaborations. So it's state of Florida reboots. Our reboots for the last maybe 2.5 years have all been online, and we have great success with the reboots. The next is a program called Veteran Women Igniting the Spirit of Entrepreneurship, which is a great program. SBA does not discriminate, but this is the only program that's specifically for the female service member and the female spouse. So VWise is a program that has 3 parts to it. It's online training, then there's the conference, and then there's the resources that's attached to it once you complete the conference. There's generally maybe 4 conferences that happens around the country each year. If anyone is interested in learning more about that, sba.gov/veterans will take you there. So that way you can learn where the next VWise is coming. That is a great program for any female service member or female spouse that's interested in starting a business or that has already turned their lights on. So again, that's only for the female service member or the female spouse. The next is Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for Veterans with Disabilities and Veteran Institute for Procurement. So this is just a couple of trainings that I just wanted to highlight, but this is not all the trainings that we do have for our military community. And the last one up here is the surplus personal property for veteran-owned businesses. So if we have any veterans that are small business owners that have their lights on already, if you meet the requirements, you are able to go after that surplus property. And that's a great way to keep money in your pocket. Okay, so again, this information can be found on sba.gov/veterans. And I know when I um, started talking earlier, and I mentioned that I was the veterans rep, I didn't ask or I didn't say thank you if we have any veterans as well as the spouses that's joining us. I want to say thank you for your service, even for our spouses, because a lot of times you guys don't get your recognition. But I wanted you to know I want to thank you guys. I think, Ron, that's it for me. So I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm just going to let Ron finish up the rest of the presentation.
Great, thank you, Natalie. I think somebody had a question on or wanted you to mention something about the Boots to Business reboot. Just a recap on that, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I think they, just missed it. Just kind of give her a brief overview of,
Okay.
what it is, if you wouldn't mind.
So,
real quick. Thank
right,
you.
okay. So Reboot is the same program as Boost the Business. It's a 2-day entrepreneurship training that covers 8 modules over the course of both days. Again, none of these trainings have the Reboot or the Boost the Business has no fee to it. Again, for individuals that's looking to start a business or grow a business, military connected, and you don't have access to a military installation, or maybe you don't want to travel and you just want to take the Reboot training online, you can do that. Right now, for our territory, we don't have, if you go on to the calendar, which I can share with you guys in the chat, you will not see the Florida Reboot, but other reboots are scheduled in that Boost the Business calendar. Like I said, I can share that calendar, but after today, I will be plugging in those dates for our area, and I think we have 2 reboots that will be scheduled. And again, those reboots that we do here in Florida are virtual reboots. And again, for the website to the Boost the Business or Reboot, I can plug that in the chat. So if anyone is interested in seeing where these classes are being held, you have the opportunity to see that. Hopefully I answered that question. If not, unmute yourself and ask away.
Hi, my
Okay.
name is Jewel Barber, and I just wanted to know, when is the Boots to Business reboot? What day?
Okay, so let me plug in the Booster Business calendar online. Like I said, hours that we're having here in Florida is not on the calendar, but after today, it will be on the calendar. Right now, I think we have it. If I think we have one scheduled for September and June, but I can't give you the dates because I don't have my calendar in front of me. But you can see the other reboots that are being held virtually on the Booster Business website. And again, like I said, I'm going to plug that into the chat, and anyone should be able to attend those reboot classes that are online.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Ron, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, great. Thank you,
Okay.
Natalie. A
You're
lot of
welcome.
good information there about what SBA provides as far as resources, and especially the one with economic development through, training and, our resource partners, of which in the different workshops that they provide. The next thing that the SBA also provides is access to government contracting, right? To be able to provide small businesses the ability to compete and win federal contracts alongside of those larger larger businesses that are out there competing as well. So as many of you may or may not know, the federal government is the world's largest buyer of goods and services across several military and civilian installations, with purchases totaling more than $1 trillion per year, if not more. These contracts exist from every item imaginable, from the N95 masks that we wore for COVID, the hand sanitizer. The government bought a ton of hand sanitizer, paper clips, and even armored tanks. So chances are the federal government, buys what you sell. But it's always good to, do your research and ensure that that it does, right? So federal agencies are required to establish contracting goals with at least 23% of all government buying targeted to small businesses. This is to ensure a level playing field and that small businesses can win government contracts. The government's procurement policy, which encourages prime and subcontracting opportunities for small business, is a catalyst for economic growth. Federal statute defines government-wide prime contracting goals, which represent a primary tool in helping small firms be considered for government contracts. The federal government has specified annual prime contracting goals for designated social and economic categories in certifications that they can use to compete for federal contracts. The first one listed here is the 8A Business Development Program. 5% of all federal contract dollars is the required goal that the federal government is to try and obtain. This is one that typically most agencies do not have an issue obtaining, and they, for the most part, double the percentage here, of awarded contracts to disadvantaged small businesses, right? And so 8A assists disadvantaged small businesses to compete in the procurement marketplace. And, we want to ensure that you have at least 2 years experience before coming into the 8A program in the primary type of work that you do. Okay, we want to make sure that you're a small business, and then there's potential for success, because this specific program itself is kind of like the Cadillac of all certifications. You're only allowed to be in this program once. It's a 9-year program that's specifically for business development to help you improve capital to be able to compete on the next level, whether it's private or in the public sector. And we want to ensure that you're able to prove, that you're socially and economically disadvantaged to come into the program, a U.S. citizen, and you own at least 51% or more ownership, of your business. The next certification is the Women-Owned Small Business Certification. 5% of all contract dollars are to be awarded to women-owned small businesses. Typically, this specific percentage is hard. It has been, a challenge for most agencies to meet. This is very underrepresented. So ladies, if you're looking to do business with the federal government, you want to apply for your WOSB certification, providing that the work you do is, supports the federal government. And there's a total of 380 NAICS codes, or North American Industry Classification System codes, which is basically a numeric value that's placed on the type of work you do. So there's a lot of, open areas for business that, that you can be awarded, or not awarded, but to achieve the WOSB certification. Much like the 8A, we want you to be 51% owned. However, you must, own, operate, and control the daily operations of that small business. You must be a U.S. citizen, must be a small business. And then there's, in addition to the women-owned small business, pro certification, there's also the economically disadvantaged women-owned small business as well too, that falls under that. And you must be able to show you're disadvantaged there. The next certification is 3% of all contract dollars for HubZone. And this is to stimulate economic development and create employment opportunities in urban and rural areas. HubZone stands for historically underutilized areas. This may be an area outside of a military post that has, since, decreased when troops deploy out, or, we're no longer at war. And also in areas of, built up urban areas that they're looking to stimulate the economy in as well. And again, for this one, you must be a small business owned and controlled 51% or more by a U.S. citizen. The primary office of that business must be located in a hub zone, and at least 35% of the employees must reside in the hub zone as well. Now, the last certification is a service disabled veteran-owned cert, and much like the hub zone, this one is 3% as well. The federal government does very well in achieving this percentage, as there are, a lot of great, resources out there for veterans as well, to, be able to provide goods and services to the federal government. One of them, is the Veterans Affairs, or VA, for unique contracting opportunities. Of the 4 contracting certifications, the 8A Business Development Certification is the most popular and sought after because it helps provide a level playing field for small businesses owned by socially and economically disadvantaged people or entities. The government limits competition for certain contracts of business that participate in the 8A Business Development Program. These programs allow the government to narrow the competition for those that qualify for them. In addition, when winning contracts, a big factor is to be able to fund that federal contract, to be able to pay those people that come onto that contract. And how do you do that? You do that through the next SBA resource partner, or the next SBA resource, and that's access to capital. SBA provides an array of financing for small businesses. Options range from the smallest needs in microlending to debt and equity investment capital. The SBA's loan programs are designed with unique needs of small businesses in mind. Longer repayment terms, lower payments, and no repayment penalties to give you the flexibility you need to grow your business while meeting your financial obligations. SBA's loan guarantees make it possible for many small businesses to access the capital they need to start, grow, or expand their businesses. Okay. These loans include 7A, 504, and microloans. The 7A loan, SBA's primary business loan program, provides loan guarantees to lenders that allow them to provide financial help for small businesses with special requirements up to $5 million. The type of lending it can be utilized for is acquiring, refinancing, or improving real estate and buildings, short and long-term working capital, refinancing current business debt, purchasing and installation of machinery and equipment, including AI-related expenses, purchasing furniture, fixtures, and supplies, and even changes of ownership. The 7A loan is pretty much the umbrella loan, and typically the go-to loan for most small businesses. The next one is the CDC 504 loan program. This program provides a long-term fixed rate for a loan up to $5 million for major fixed assets that promote business growth and job creation. And that's such as, maybe it's existing buildings or land, or a new facility, or, new facilities, and that's available through the certified development companies. The last program that I want to mention is a microloan program. These are loans from $500 to $50,000 for small business owners that have been turned down by a lending institution. The average microloan is about $13,000. The SBA provides funds to specifically designated intermediary lenders, which are nonprofit, community-based organizations with experience in lending to assist, with the microloans, as well as the management and technical assistance. These intermediaries administer the microloan program for eligible borrowers. Okay. So it's kind of a hard topic to talk about our disasters, right? But another great resource that the SBA offers is disaster preparedness and disaster loans, right? And one of the biggest things we've seen with COVID, and and what's really big for the state of Florida are hurricanes. And as noted here in the slide, 25% of businesses don't reopen after a major disaster. And so, but you can protect your business, right? And to learn more about that, you can go to sba.gov/prepare. That'll help your small business go through the steps to prepare them, when a disaster does strike. And a lot of these natural disasters, when they occur, are designated areas, whereas like when we start kind of local, the state of Florida, if it hits in a certain area, right, that becomes a declared natural disaster by the president. And then anything that's nationwide, such as COVID, makes the whole nation, like a declared disaster area. Okay, an SBA disaster loan can be used towards losses not covered by insurance or funding from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, for both personal and business. It can also be used towards business operating expenses that could have been met had the disaster not occurred. Well, who can apply for a disaster loan? Businesses of all size, homeowners, renters, and private nonprofit organizations. However, as mentioned, you must be located in a declared disaster area and meet other eligibility criteria depending on the type of loan. There's multiple loans out there to assist with disasters. There's the physical damage loans to cover repairs and replacement of physical assets damaged in declared disasters. There's also mitigation assistance, kind of what we just seen in the previous slide, to help prevent or help your business be prepared, providing one does happen, right? And they do that through expanded funding to make improvements to eliminate future damage. Next is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, or EIDL loan, funding to cover small businesses' operating expenses after declared disaster. We saw a lot of EIDL loans during COVID-19 or the pandemic. And here in Florida, we saw a lot of them for, hurricanes. And the next one is the Military Reservist Loan. SBA provides loans to help eligible small businesses with operating expenses to make up for employees that are on active duty leave. During the COVID pandemic, the SBA provided COVID-19 economic relief funding options to businesses in need. Those loans that were provided were the Paycheck Protection Program, the debt relief on 7A, 504 microloans, and the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. They also provided payment and grant programs as well, the Targeted EIDL Advance, Supplemental Targeted Advance, Shuttered Venue Operators Grant, and the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. So, and with that, each year the SBA provides billions of dollars in low interest, long-term disaster loans to help small businesses, homeowners, and renters recover from declared disasters. With that, this portion of the SBA resources comes to conclusion, and the fact that SBA offers a variety of resources, such as the access to capital, of which you just heard me talk about, entrepreneurial development, which Natalie talked about, with the free counseling and low-cost training to new entrepreneurs through our resource partners in the SBA, government contracting, with the SBA setting goals with other federal departments and agencies to award 23% in contracting dollars. And lastly, what one of the things that we didn't mention was advocacy, right? So the SBA reviews congressional legislation and testifies on behalf of small businesses, and it assesses the impact of regulatory burdens on small businesses. And with that, we come to the conclusion of the SBA resource presentation. Do we have any questions at this time?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, ma'am.
Hi. First of all, I'm in New York, so I didn't see it. So, but
it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good because it's the federal. But I am starting a business in the area of special needs advocacy because I'm in New York.
Okay.
And in New York, which is different from Florida, because we do get people. I happen to work in the field, so I see the need of, since the state of New York is changing in the area of special needs and advocacy. So I came up with the business, and I was looking up for help on the SBA loan, and I don't know what special needs advocacy falls under. I wouldn't know where to start in where it falls under. Is it under human resources? Is under, you know what I mean? I really just don't know, and I don't want to go into it blind. And
right.
That's my question.
Okay. What I would say to do is to reach out to your local SBA office, to the lender relations specialist.
Okay.
And, just ask them flat out, hey, or tell them what you're looking to do.
Yes.
And, he'll be able to point you left or right. Hey, maybe you should talk to one of our resource partners, get a plan set in place, and then, do the find lenders option that, you can access through SBA's website. Janelle, you may have some insight on this as well, too. Janelle's been in lending for I don't know how many years. So, Janelle, if you want to step in, feel free.
Yeah, no, just one other question. A lot of times people that are doing what you are doing, they're running nonprofits. Is your business a nonprofit?
I'm not doing it as a nonprofit. I worked in the field of I still work in nonprofit as a case manager. I do that. But there's been such a need in New York of families not knowing about how their loved ones to get services in the state of New York. And then there's a line to get the services in the state of New York. So my phone on the advocacy side rings privately, and so I can help families get into the services because they have no knowledge. And depending on where you are in the state of New York, like I'm Long Island knows, but New York City is very slow. And my private of cases that I do privately are coming from the New York City area.
Okay, I ask about the nonprofit, the status of the business, only because the only lending that we do to nonprofits is through our disaster assistance programs that Ron covered.
Okay.
Our regular programs are available as long as the business is for profit.
Right.
But again, I don't know that you need to know. Like I know what your NAICS code is because I just looked it up while you were talking. The North American Industry Classification System. So typically advocacy is covered under one of two codes. It's 813311.
81311. Okay.
Right. And then there's 813312, although those are more conservation and environmental.
No, this is not conferences.
Right. So it's good to know that industry code because your lender will use that code to determine, and when they do their financial analysis, they will compare you to like industries.
Yeah, that's what I would like to get a coach, even though, I'm doing this.
You have a fabulous SCORE chapter that's actually co-located with the New York office. It's in Manhattan. They don't have an access to, they do have one designation on Long Island in Hop Hog.
Oh, I'm near Hop Hog. My office is near Hop Hog.
Okay. So the district director there, the district director's name is John Milano. And again, if you use the website sba.gov/local-assistance, it will pull up the New York City, their location. So you'll see the exact address.
He's probably on the Vets Highway because it's all the business.
Probably. Yeah. It's in an industrial park. I know that. But he works a lot of times out of that location instead of the New York office.
right.
So you may be able to run into him, and he has a lending background as well. John
Okay,
Milano
cool.
does. So he's
So
a
I'll
good
speak
contact
to
for
John
you, and he'll,
Milano,
yeah,
and
and he'll
I'll
be able
get
to connect you with the resource partners up there.
good. Thank you so much, Janelle.
You got it.
Okay. So thank you, Ron, and thank you for that question. And there was a comment for you in the chat. Someone wanted to connect with you because she's doing a business in PA. So if you look in the chat, you will see that message for you. For some reason, I can't see your name. Janelle was just speaking with you. So, but there's a message in the chat for you. So with that being said, if you guys still have questions, we want you guys to give us a moment because we want to first introduce you to our guest speaker, who is Susan Mel. She's career ownership coach with Entrepreneurs Coach, and she's going to give you guys some great information. But again, like I said, after the presentations, we want to still be able to answer any of your questions and concerns. But for the sake of time, we want to continue to try to stay on schedule. So with that being said, I want to thank Susan again, me and Ron, and turn it over to you.
Well, thank you so much, Natalie and Ron. I appreciate it a lot. And let me share my screen and fingers crossed.
You can do it.
Yes.
My cheerleaders. Oh, I don't know why it's not showing again. They know how I love teams.
Yeah. Look down on your menu bar of your laptop.
You. I think the problem is I'm not seeing. I'm going to do this. Give me a second. Thank you. You're so good. You're right. You fixed it. You're great.
All right, you got to share it now. There we go. Okay. All right, now. Perfect.
Okay.
Look at that. Voila.
Yay!
Natalie, you should take notes there. Just saying.
I'm going to keep you in my back pocket, Ron. That's for sure. You are amazing. So, hello, everybody. I'm Susan Mel. I'm a franchisee of the Entrepreneur Source, but I want to share with you, I've been an entrepreneur all my life. I started my first business at 28 years old, became the largest wireless agent here in Tampa Bay with 4 locations, 42 employees, and did over $7.5 million in revenue in today's dollar. I sold it 17 years later, and in my 40s decided to explore franchises and found the Entrepreneur Source, and really was my calling because I have my master's in social work administration. Sort of being a social worker, maybe an entrepreneur is an oxymoron, but I'm proving that's not necessarily the case because I was able to find a business where I could help people and make a difference in their lives and their family lives for the rest of their lives. You know, helping people find opportunities they can retire to as well. And the good news is my services are free because we get paid by the franchise company. So there's no cost to you whatsoever. And my value is to help you navigate those 4,000 franchises in 80 different industries. And today I'm doing something rather unique because my value is to help you identify unique opportunities, sort of look outside the box. I actually have a special gift for you. It's something I've been doing for SCORE and thought this would be great to present today on some passive and semi-absentee options. A lot of my clients would like to keep their jobs and then start something on the side, or it could be a complete investment. So this is just a quick snapshot today of some of the franchises I work with. We work with actually the top 200 in all different industries. And I focus, I think most people think franchises are all food and retail, but there's a lot of service-based franchises, which are much lower investment, faster ramp up to earnings, and the return on investment is higher. Now, if you have any questions while I'm talking, you're welcome to enter it in chat, and then Ron or Natalie, you can just interrupt me and let me know what the questions are because I can't see the chat, but I don't mind stopping and answering questions. So I just want to say that as well. I also want to add about some SBA programs for franchising only. We do have some special programs, and for veterans, we have what's called my military loan. So the qualifications are different for the veterans. And there's also discounts on the franchise fee for veterans as well. And military spouses also qualify for both special financing as well as discounts on the franchise fee. But there's 2 SBA loans, and what I like about them is that you don't have to put the collateral of your home up. It's really just a business line of credit. Ideally, you need to have a credit score of 685 or better. But the first loan is up to $150,000. Again, this is primarily for franchises. This loan up to $150,000 covers your franchise fee, your working capital, and a salary to pay yourself, which is 10% down, which is really, and you get that loan within about 6 weeks. Again, that's a business line of credit, no collateral required, just a credit score of 685 or better, and you need to have a net worth of 150, which includes your retirement, cash you have on hand, equity in your home, and so that I'll help you with getting qualified for that. We actually have another SBA loan called the Dream Loan. This is up to $500,000, 20% down, interest only for the first 9 months, and you get a $25,000 business credit card, so you can already start developing your business credit from day one, in addition to having the SBA loan, which also helps you identify your credit. We work with special banks that do funding primarily for franchises. So I'd be happy to connect you with that resource. And I just thought this would be a good time to mention those loans, since obviously we're talking about SBA today. So thank you for that. And I want to talk to you a little bit about franchising, and this is something you use as well for identifying, what you want to do in your own business. We help clients to develop their criteria. So believe it or not, one of the number one things you should be identifying is how much income would you like to make. Start setting your goals. What do you like your lifestyle to look like? Wealth is what I call priceless possibilities. It can maybe working only 4 days a week, maybe being able to take off during the day to pick up your children from school, or being able to attend a soccer game. So wealth is beyond just money. And then equity is growing your business and selling it, because that's one of the reasons to own a business, is to have an appreciating asset. Franchising provides you initial and ongoing support, education. You get to learn all about the franchise before you make the investment. They also provide training, ongoing and initial and ongoing, and it's a proven business model. So they know what works and doesn't work, and they give you the roadmap. So that's a quick snapshot of franchising. And today we're just going to sort of get to the bottom line of what's out there for you. I do want to say that being an independent business owner and then being a franchisee, this is such an important statement. You're in business for yourself, not by yourself. And it's great that you guys have all these resources. There's so many more out there than when I first started my business 40 years ago. It's just wonderful to see. So you do have some of that support, even if you're not a franchise, by some of these other resources that you're learning about today. So that's exciting to know. So this I want to let you know, one of the advantages of franchises, they put together these PowerPoints for me, and I thought this was really cute what they did. And this is just talking about how to make some investments. Investing in a business is also investing in your financial future. And so I feel that working for corporate America for 40 to 45 years doesn't get most people to retirement, to be able to save enough money to retire for 20 or 30 years. And even if you have enough money to retire, what do you do with your time? Because people live longer that have purpose in life. So that's why this topic today of looking at semi-absentee and passive franchise opportunities allows you to be able to see what else you can invest in besides just Wall Street, because Wall Street is a passive investment. And when I say passive, you're only going to earn about maybe up to 10%, where even with the passive franchise opportunity, it's more of a reactive investment because it's your own business. So we're going to talk about what that looks like today. I think it's really going to surprise a lot of people what to be able to have an alternative investment, and you don't have to put all your retirement money in Wall Street. You can actually buy stocks in your own business with your retirement money with no penalties. So that's what we're talking about today. This franchise here is a semi-absentee franchise. It's a green franchise clothes bin. It allows you to be able to not have clothes be put in landfills and be able to have national partners that actually buy these clothes and they take them to third world countries, or they do other things with them, but they have Clothesbin has contacts with those companies that buy these uh, used clothes, if you will. So you've probably seen a lot of the, what is it, Salvation Army and Goodwill have them. Sometimes they'll take those clothes in and they'll resell them in their stores. And what this allows you to do is be able to locate these, especially by near schools, because kids grow out of clothes so much, but really be able to help the environment. Usually start with 40 of these bins, and they help place them. And then it has the electronics and technology in it when it's ready to be empty to let you know. And then you have to go in and pick up the clothes. And once you get to a certain amount of clothes, then you sell them to their national vendors that buy these products. So it's a real simple business model. I know it's sold out in a lot of areas in Florida, but I can help you identify areas that it is available. But this really allows you to be able to pick up the clothes on the evening and weekends, and it really works well for people working full time. People are really surprised how well you can do with this business, and it usually makes more money than a vending business where you're selling candy bars and potato chips and things like that, and you're helping the planet. So that might surprise some people as a really interesting semi-absentee business model. This is another semi-absentee business model. Probably most of us are more familiar with co-working spaces and temporary offices. This is how I've started every business, within a temporary office. A lot of people, when they start a business, or even have a home-based business, they want somebody answering their phone, scheduling their appointments, maybe be able to rent the conference room once in a while to meet clients. Or starting a business, you want to have an office out of your home. The co-working space, and a lot of companies are starting to use them, and because they don't have everybody coming at the office at the same time. So Office Evolution is basically offering a co-working space. Doesn't require but 1 or 2 employees to help manage the office, and it allows you to keep your job and have an investment on the side. So Office Evolution, and you might be familiar with it. I believe there's one down on Harbor Island, actually. This gives you an idea of a little bit more what the co-working space can look like, and it talks about the flexible workspace market represents 30% curious, 30% currently, and it's going to continue to grow as more and more companies are going to remote, or having some space where they don't have everybody coming in all the time. So it makes more sense, and it gives you more flexibility on the lease as well. So this allows you to have some recurring revenue, especially people that are renting, every month, or if they're using the virtual services. When you start a business, when you use a virtual service like this, where they're answering your phones and scheduling appointments for you, it really makes you look more like more established business, if you will. This is a total passive investment. And what's unique about Door Renew and another one that I'm going to show you is that you're completely hands-off. This model is a management model where you pay the franchisor 5% and they manage the business for you. A lot of people don't realize that's the storage business. When you look at CubeSmart and Smart Storage and all these different storage companies, they're just management companies running and branding, using their brand name, but they're charging them 5% to run their storage business. Well, that's exactly what's happening in franchise. And what's great about Door Renew, it's a very simple model. It's repairing, renewing doors instead of replacing expensive doors. You can have, you renew it, as well as commercial and residential as well. So that makes it really nice. Very little competition. For those here in Florida, you've probably seen a lot of these one-story medical centers where they have different office buildings. Well, the one I go to, all the buildings are white, the doors are white, and they need to be done every year because they don't look so good because they're white, and as you can imagine. So next time you walk into a business, look at their door, and they probably need Door Renew. But it's easy to do, and the franchisor will manage it for you. And again, it doesn't have to be in your backyard because it's a private investment. So if you live in an area that you don't think your market is good, we can see what other markets are available that you might think are better. So I love that fact that you can be anywhere. This gives you an idea about the investment and their training and support. But it depends on the size of the territory that you get, what the investment will look like. But as you see in this slide, the franchisors have generally certain requirements for liquid capital, but that can also be in your retirement. So it's not, doesn't have to be in checking and savings. But you see they have certain net worth requirements. What they talk about the total investment is for a single vehicle market. What I love about franchising is they know not only what the franchise fee is going to be, right, but what your total investment, what the working capital needs to be the first year. So that's one of the reasons franchises are so successful, because they know how much you need to ramp up your first year. Many small businesses fail just because they're undercapitalized. SBA loans we can't do SBA loans for passive investments. For the semi-absentee we can, but for the passive, we can't use SBA. Just want to let you know that. This gives you an idea. They have the absentee model. If you did the part-time semi-absentee or the owner-operator, you could do the SBA loans. But what's really great about these business models, whether they're full-time or even semi-absentee, they let you know what that role looks like and what you can expect. So that's one of the things that's fabulous about franchising is you get to learn all about it. I call it an educational experience before you make the investment. So that you're prepared when you go through training, you know, what the next steps are, what they're going to help you do. And so there's no surprises as the idea is that you get full disclosure since we're regulated by the Federal Trade Commission. So door renew. You start after this presentation, you guys are going to start looking at doors all the time. This is another passive investment. Obviously, large part of our population have pets. So Furryland Mobile Grooming, they do dogs and cats. Interesting enough, I would never want to try to bathe or groom my cat. So I think it's great that they know how to do that. But they can do, again, this could be anywhere in the United States. It's the same situation as Door Renew. It's passive. You can go semi-absentee or full-time, but one of the things that we haven't talked about today, but I do want to mention, part of our growing population is obviously people 65 and older. Why is this important? Consider businesses that serve the larger part of our population that continues to grow. 10,000 people a day turn 65. As we get older, we want more convenient services, and that's really going to be, that's the growth in business right now. So I think mobile grooming, that's a great growth area. People don't want to go to a location. Maybe they don't want to put their animal in the car. I know every time I put my cat in the car, they thought it was going to the vet. So it's really great for them to have that convenience to come to your home. Again, they offer the 3 different models. Today, I'm promoting the passive model just to give you an example of something that you can invest in and make more money than you can investing in Wall Street. And so that's something to think about. Something, not only what money you can make while you own the business, but then something you can grow and sell. And that goes towards your financial future as well. So I think I always like showing this one because everybody likes pets. So why franchising? All the startup work is done for you. They give you the roadmap, the outline, the guide, if you will. You guide from the franchisors and the other franchisees because you are in business for yourself but not by yourself. Establish brand recognition and improve the business model. And also too, when you start a franchise, you really are starting out and you are not a new business. You're part of a national brand that's been in business for however long they've been in business. Like my brand, we've been around since 1984. And so when I started my business, I was just opening up a new location. But I was part of established brand. So that's what I like about franchising is you're never a new business because you're part of something much larger and you're also part of a national brand. So as I mentioned, there's no cost for my services. We get paid by the franchise company, and my value is to help you navigate those 4,000 franchises in 80 different industries. As I mentioned, we work with the top 200, but in all 80 industries. Our goal is to help our clients achieve their goals and their dreams. And I'll say that a business is a vehicle to help you achieve other things that are important in your life. So a lot of people say I have to be passionate about it. But I think passion is different for different people. And so sometimes if you take your hobby, for example, that's your passion, well, now your hobby become your business. And then what do you do for a hobby? So I had a friend that liked playing golf, so she opened a golf store, and now she's not playing golf. So that's why people talk about, what is it that you want the business to help you achieve? What is beyond the business what are your goals? And that's part of what we do in coaching our clients, is help them identify what we call their ILWE, what kind of income, what lifestyle you want to have, your wealth, what are those priceless possibilities, and then helping you to grow equity. That's the number one reason to own a business, something you can grow and sell. You'll thank me for that. When you sell your business, you get that big check. This is my contact information and my website, which has lots of franchise information on it. If you'd like to connect with me on LinkedIn, please do. At the bottom of my profile is a lot of recommendations from clients that I've worked with recently in the past. You can see their background experience, and you can also see what they wound up investing in. So with that, I guess I didn't get interrupted, so either I talked too fast or I didn't have any chat questions.
Thanks, Susan. For those of you that have questions for Susan, you are able to unmute your mic and ask away, or you can go ahead and plug it in the chat, but it's just a click of a button.
Thank you. I love it when I leave everybody speechless.
But that means along the way, you probably answered all the questions, and you have those individuals that may be a little shy, that don't want to ask their question out loud. So Susan's information, if you can plug your information in the chat, Susan, so those individuals can, write it down or, take a picture of it, so that way they can reach out to you one-on-one. Which is okay, but at the end of the day, we don't want anyone to click that leave button without that contact information. And remember, based on what everyone is sitting, you do have access to connect to your local SBA office by going to sba.gov, and it's going to allow you to find your resources by plugging in your zip code. So it's going to connect you to your local SBA district office with the contact information, as well as the 4 resource partners that I shared with you guys. And also really quick, I just wanted to share for those of you that have already started your business, those of you that are thinking about starting a business, communication is the key. SBA has our resource partners. Don't be afraid to go in and talk to the resource partners to receive help for your business, regardless of the situation, the struggles that you're having, questions and or concerns. We're not here to steal your information or again to catch you doing something wrong. You guys are paying for this service. Why not begin to utilize the service? You guys are not alone. And like I mentioned, if you didn't know anything about SBA and our programs and services before you clicked on today, now you know. And again, you have access to them. If wherever you're located, if you reach out to a resource partner and, no one has got back to you in a timely manner, continue to reach out or, reach out to your local SBA to receive some assistance, because we don't want anything to stop you from either starting or growing that small business. And also really quickly, I know Ron covered the information on financing, but you guys have to remember communication is key. If you know that you're going to start your business in 2024, 25, 26, you want to begin to build relationships, especially if you need financing. Who is your lender? Even though SBA could be involved in that deal, we just want to educate you to prepare you, but you need to start having those conversations with a lending institution. And you have to remember, all lenders does not have an appetite for the same thing. So you want to basically find out if that lending institution has an appetite for the type of business you're looking to start or grow, the product or service that you're selling, because you might be banking with a lender and have a great relationship, but find out that they're not going to fund you. So that's one of the main things that, one of the main things we want you to take away, building that relationship. Go in, have those conversations, stay up that drive-through, go in and find out who your business banker is and start having those conversations, because if there's ever an opportunity that they might have a special loan product, you built the relationship. They might know you. You want to have a relationship where you can pick up that phone and just talk to the individual, even if you're not ready to do an application, but you want to begin to build relationships. So that's just a little something that I wanted to share, because a lot of times individuals forget that they're reach out to a lending institution when it's time for funding. No, you want to begin to build those relationships. So I just wanted to share that. Again, for those of you that has questions for myself, Ron, or Susan, now is the time. Just unmute your mics and ask away, guys. Don't be shy.
So, the website, sba.gov/veteran, is that the source to get your business women owned veteran or veteran owned certified?
I plugged it in the chat. It was certified.sba.gov.
Yep.
Okay.
So certified.sba.gov.
Yeah, just some points of advice, like when you do go to, apply. The cool thing is about Certify is when you click on it, it's got like a knowledge help section. And I would click on that knowledge link because it's going to provide you with all the documentation that you need to apply, that you'll need when you go to apply. So that way, you're not going through the application. You're like, oh, wait, I need this or that. You'll already have all that information there. So utilize Certify's knowledge base, and that's going to eliminate a lot of questions you might have. And there's also YouTube videos as well, too. It's a really good site. And again, it's certify.sba.gov to apply. Okay, and then we also have, our for certifications, right? We also have our procurement technical assistance centers, which have just been rebranded as Apex Accelerators, which are there to assist you, with filling out those applications as well, too. They're typically co-located with some of the small business development centers in colleges and universities. But again, it's called Apex Accelerator or PTAC. Okay, and they've got retired contracting officers that worked either at the state, county, or for the federal government. They can assist you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And another thing is too, is like Natalie mentioned, relationships. Working with small businesses in my portfolio, and my experience, working for the SBA in the last 7 years, I have come to see like how important it is for relationships and building those, with the local and federal agencies that they contract and work for, right? And a lot of it may be, building those relationships with some of your competitors, right? Because what you're able to do with your competitors sometimes is actually join, you guys can, either team up or joint venture and go after, larger contracts and stuff like that. But yeah, you want to have that network built. I saw some people on the call already kind of exchanging phone numbers. That's great because you never know when you're going to need, somebody's resource or another to help, with your business. Because, I know myself that I don't know everything as an individual. And I can reach out to Natalie, who may know this or that. I can reach out to Susan, she knows this. And so it's all about knowledge, right? And knowledge is power, and it's going to be able to kind of create that what is it, kind of create that like create more opportunities, as well as be able to make your create a stronger competitive advantage.
Right. And even if you're both in the same industry, that's fine. Sometimes individuals will shy away from their competition. I mean, you guys can join forces and make money together. So don't shy away from your competition. You actually should know what it is that your competition is doing. So again, that way, if there's an opportunity, you guys might join forces. There may be a contracting opportunity that you can align yourself up with another small business owner like yourself. So again, there are so many ways for you guys to connect, to work together, to be successful. So again, if you're not utilizing the services of the U.S. Small Business Administration that your tax dollars are paying for, stop doing what you're doing. Reach out to us. Let us begin to assist you, again, to help you to start being successful, to continue to be successful, help your communities, and at the end of the day, create jobs as well. I know Ron mentioned the information about the Procurement Technical Assistance Center that will now be going by the name of Apex Accelerators. I I was trying to quickly find, I guess, the national website. I can't find it, but if you email us, we can get you that information. But again, each territory is different. Like Ron said, they're generally attached with the Small Business Development Center. So the websites might be different. But again, if you're tapping into the contracting arena, you want to line yourself up with one of their consultants with that organization. So you can email us separately or together, whatever. And we would just want to make sure we get that information in your hand. So I don't see anything else popping in the chat. Do you guys have any additional questions or concerns for us? Again, you have our contact information. If there's something you need to speak with us, on sidebar, please do. But just don't walk away and not make any connections or say, okay, I should have asked that question. But if you don't want to ask that question out loud, that's fine. Having our contact information, phone number, or email, so that way we can assist you. If you need for us to give us our contact information, I will. So I start with my information. I emailed everyone that registered through Eventbrite. So hopefully you guys have my email address, but I will share it again. It's Natalie, and it's Natalie .HALL. Again, Natalie, NATALIE.HALL at SBA.gov. And again, if there's something I can assist you with, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Even, if you're not located in my area, I'm not going to say get out of here, contact your local SBA office. I'll try my best to assist you. But again, you want to connect to your local SBA office. If you actually don't fall in my territory or Ron territory, you do have your local SBA in those resources. So again, our information is plugged in the chat. Thank you guys again for attending. Susan, again, thank you for providing that information. Hopefully that was some great information. Hopefully some of you guys might be interested in the franchise now. So now you have a resource for that as well. So it is 12:22. Again, you want to
I think
unmute
there's
your
a
mic?
hand raised. Let's see who.
Okay.
Teresa.
Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
No, I'm sorry. Was confused. Thank you so much.
Oh, you just wanted to say that?
No. I'm sorry. Whatever. Thank you so much. I enjoyed that meeting.
Okay, you're welcome. And thanks for attending. And you know what? I didn't say this. Let me do a plug. Janelle mentioned it. If you fall under the South Florida District Office and you're not following the South Florida District Office by way of email or social media, please get onto their website or get onto our website. So that way, when we push out information, you guys will be connected. For those of you outside, regardless where you sit at, you have a local SBA office. By visiting SBA.gov and plugging your zip code, it will connect you. And so that way you can follow your local SBA office, wherever you're sitting at, to learn about upcoming programs and services, new initiatives, anything new about the SBA. So that way that can be shared with you as well. So again, thank you guys for attending. If you know someone that should have been here but didn't join us, send them our way just by going to sba.gov, and they can navigate their way to us. So again, thank you, everyone. I truly appreciate you guys spending this time with us. Hopefully all of this information is going to be helpful for you. And again, thank you, Ron, for the collaboration.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks,
You're
guys.
welcome.
Thank you all. Thanks, Natalie.
Thank you, Ron. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ron, I need you to stay on, okay?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. I'm gonna stop recording.
When we get a